Exclusive Tencent seeks larger stake in Assassin's Creed maker Ubisoft. Assets Hong Kong Tencent Holdings (OTC) TCEHY Limited plans to elevate its stake in French online game institution Ubisoft Entertainment SA as the Chinese gaming massive pivots to the global gaming marketplace. 4 assets with direct understanding of the problem instructed. China's biggest social network and gaming corporation, which bought a 5% stake in Ubisoft in 2018, has reached out to the French firm's founding Guillemot circle of relatives and expressed interest in growing its stake within the organization, the sources stated. It is not clear how a lot more Tencent desires to very own in Ubisoft, worth $5.3 billion, but Tencent aims to grow to be the unmarried biggest shareholder of the French agency with a further stake buy, of the resources stated, speaking on situation of anonymity. Tencent is hoping to buy part of the extra stake in Ubisoft, the maker of the blockbuster Assassin's Creed online game franchise, from the Guillemot family, which owns 15% of the organization, 3 of the resources mentioned. Tencent ought to provide up to €100 $101.84 in keeping with percentage to acquire the additional stake, said of the assets with information of the inner discussions. It paid €66 in line with proportion for the 5% stake in 2018. Details of the deal aren't yet finalized and are problem to exchange, the assets stated. Ubisoft shares closed up 11% on Thursday, after having risen as lots as 21% in advance after the document of their largest day-by-day upward push given that 2004. Shares in Guillemot Corp SA, the protecting employer wherein the Guillemot-owned family owns the majority shareholding, ended 7.3% better. Hong Kong-listed Tencent saw its shares drop 2% in morning exchange on Friday whilst the Hang Seng Tech Index changed into flat. Graphic, Ubisoft stocks set for biggest daily leap in view that 2004, Tencent will even seek to collect shares from public shareholders of Ubisoft, 2 of the resources stated, in a bid to boost its ownership and come to be the single large street shareholder. About 80% of the French company's stocks are owned by means of public shareholders, in line with its modern-day annual record. All the assets decline to be named as they are now not accredited to talk to the media. Tencent and Ubisoft declined to remark. Representatives of the Guillemot family could not be straight away reached for comment. The planned stake buy, Tencent's modern important foreign deal on account that a regulatory crackdown in overdue 2020, will help it offset some of the pressures in the home gaming marketplace. China's video games market, the sector's largest, has ended up fiercely competitive. Tencent may be very decided to nail down the deal as Ubisoft is such an essential strategic asset for Tencent, one of the humans mentioned. At the pinnacle cease of €100 in step with proportion, Tencent's offer will be a top class of 127% to the inventory's €44 common charge over the last 3 months, and is near its historic fee ceiling at €108 in 2018. Tencent has submitted to the Guillemot family a time period sheet, a non-binding offer describing the simple phrases and conditions of unfunding with a fee, way above, the corporation's current price to push back capability opposition, one of the sources said. The competitive offer comes as global gaming electricity homes were speeding to snap up nice impartial recreation makers in latest years, which might be in shortage, of the assets mentioned. Tencent's senior executives flew to France in May to fulfill the Guillemot-owned family about the purchase, of the humans mentioned. Domestic pressures. China's gaming regulator has no longer granted any new game licenses to Tencent at home due to the fact that June last year, before it iced up gaming approvals for nearly 9 months. Since it resumed approvals in April this 12 months, none of the past 4 batches covered the organization. In May, Tencent pronounced that its home recreation sales dropped 1% within the first region whilst global game revenue rose 4%. Tencent, which has stakes in U.S. video game builders Epic Games and Riot Games, said in June it'd release its flagship CellSport, Honor of Kings, globally via the stop of the year. In 2016, it sold a majority stake in Clash of Clans CellSport maker Supercell for kind of $8.6 billion, one of the international's largest ever gaming offers. It additionally owns 9% of UK video gaming company Frontier Developments and stated last 12 months it would purchase every other British developer Sumo in a $1.3 billion deal. Ubisoft, whose titles additionally include Prince of Persia and Rainbow Six, in May forecast lower operating profit for 202,223 after the organization mentioned operating earnings for 202,122 that missed estimates. $1 equals €0.9819.